congratulations, Jill. That's just great.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so, where have you been on your journey to get to this distinguished place?
I was a surprise to be offered it, and I was quite humbled by that. Because I never really thought of that as part of a journey or the end point of a journey or anything.
I don't think it's ended.
I mean, I'd always wanted to be a GP. I mean, I went to medical school with the idea of being a general
GP.
practice.
Oh, fantastic,
And despite quite considerable pressure at medical school and later on during my hospital a couple of years, when people say, oh, you wasted as a GP, ha ha. I've maintained that's what I always wanted to do. So I never regretted it. And so,
marvellous,
so every day is different. Some days are more frustrating than other days. But I do have this thing, and I talk to my registrars and that about it, is you need to find something every day that you took joy in.
Cool.
Whether it's something that made you smile, even if it's trivial, even if it's something idiotic you did or one of your fellow colleagues did. And so you're not laughing at the patients, but you're laughing about something, or smiling about something that happened every day. And if something can be as ridiculous as a faux pas you made, or spelling mistake or something, that turns out you think, oh gosh, that was funny. Sometimes you're laughing in despair, but you need to look for the joy, because I think in medicine it's too easy to look for all the negatives, how busy you are, how under pressure you feel, how you never have the perfect consultation, there's no perfect patient, there's no perfect doctor. So you need to appreciate the little things and take joy where you find it.
That's great. And so you've had a fairly disruptive year last year and managed to get people through, so how did that go?
It had its pros and cons at the time. Looking back, definitely it was very disruptive, and we had 3 to 4 months where we couldn't work at all in our usual way, and we had to work in a different way. And nurses had to do a lot more. We did a lot more on the telephone. Put off all routine things. So it was a whole new way of looking at how we could meet patients' needs while still continuing to function in a crisis situation.
And so, I mean, just to explain for people that with the flood that you had, so do you think having gone through the flood and all the building stuff and changing all that, you've changed what you do now because of what went on?
Not a lot. I mean, a little bit. I mean, we did some physical changes after the flood. I mean, being flooded is a horrible way of kind of wiping things clean. Even though it was a relatively new building and it had just been renovated 18 months before.
Oh dear.
We still started from scratch in terms of furniture, in terms of design of the practice. We made some changes, and that's certainly been very good. We created an extra room, so that's changed the way we work a little bit. And it had some practical physical changes. We equipped all the rooms with our mechanics trolleys, our big heavy stainless steel mechanics trolleys, because they survived the flood very well.
Oh wow!
A lot of other furniture didn't. So that changed. People look at us in the super cheap auto where I bought them from. Why do I need 8 mechanics trolleys? I said, but in terms of actual medically, I don't think it's changed that much. Perhaps nurses doing more. Certainly brought the team together. There's nothing like having to work in a disrupted way for 6 weeks very badly, followed by another 6 weeks of partial disruption to make people appreciate each other.
So you must have worked in Dunedin for a long time now.
Did you forget this, Sam? I started medicine quite late. I mean, I went to medical school at 28, so I was about 10 years older in Johannesburg.
In Johannesburg,
So I was 10 years older than most of my classmates, so I did have a 10-year lag to start in medicine. But yes, I've been in general practice now for about 25 years and been in Dunedin for about 27.
Oh wow,
That's a reasonable length of time. We've had registrars with us for probably 17 or 18 of those years. And that's been rewarding. I'm not sure how the practice will cope with PG2s and 4th years and trainee interns and elective students, and we're always under pressure to take more, which is, I think, one of the really difficulties facing us in the next few years.
It is, But I think, GPs tend to be resilient, and I'm sure that we'll find a way forward. But for you, training, how does training I wouldn't say avoid, but how does it help you in your practice and stuff?
I think as a teacher in general practice, you're kept on your toes. Young doctors come out of the hospital often know much more than you do about procedures, and they're really on their toes with various things. So from that point of view, you learn. There are always registrars who are great, and there are registrars who are not so great. And sometimes the ones that need nurturing, you think, okay, I'm going to have to change the way I do things with this. And so you do learn different approaches to teaching, different ways of enthusiasm people, and different ways of saying, hey, you know, you may think you know everything, but you're getting through consults in 10 minutes, whereas most of us would actually take 20 minutes over that. What are you doing differently? And sometimes pointing out to them that as a general practitioner, you're it. You're not just going to be able to rush off and do the tests and everything else. You've got to make a decision on basically clinical grounds there and then. So I enjoy registrars.
And they keep you changing you.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And a huge variety of registrars over the years.
That's great.
And they've always, I regret looking back that I didn't keep a picture of each one of them. I'd love to have a wall in the you know, the passageway or in the tea room, registrars over the years, and have everyone there.
Congratulations on your fellowship.
Thank you.
It's really exciting, and I hope things go well in the practice, and that the flood is well behind you.
The flood is well behind.